Our next guest served as White House Chief of Staff under George W. Bush, and he was the man who told President Bush that the 9/11 attack was underway. That is Andy Card, and he is our guest this morning. Andy, welcome back. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be with you, Stuart.
The implementation...
It's a busy day.
Oh, yes. And I'm glad you're with us to sort this stuff out. I'm critical of the implementation of the President's executive order on immigration. I think there was mass confusion, and I think that was a mistake. Now, a lot of people are saying that that clouds the implementation of future executive orders, and that this clouds their future, that there will be confusion when they're implemented as well. As a man who sat right there in the Oval Office, what say you?
Well, first of all, I hope this is a learning opportunity for the Trump team. Clearly, the consequence of the executive order on Friday was different than the president had expected. And anytime you have unintended consequences showing up, and they almost always do, it means that the process in the White House didn't allow for a full discussion of the full ramifications of what the policy might be. They need a better process to have more people engaged so that they limit the number of unintended consequences and get the main policy done. I'm convinced that this is more than just an implementation problem. It also represents a policy process problem at the White House where they didn't discuss the potential of unintended consequences. If you discuss them, then they're no longer unintended. You can decide whether you want to have them or not, but you know how to deal with them. And that's a very important process responsibility to take place at the White House as the president makes these decisions, especially on executive orders.
Andy, on that subject, the process may be a problem. We have, and again, it's talk this morning, that the tax reform package could be delayed maybe into the year 2018. That's a huge negative for the stock market. Now, is that another example of what you're calling process problems?
Well, what you have to do is understand the consequence to your actions. And the consequence is, if you understand the consequence and you still go forward, that's one thing. It's when you don't understand the consequence of your actions, and therefore there are unintended consequences, that you have to worry. I suspect in the debate over when to push for tax reform is a function of a lot of moving parts. Number one, the Ways and Means Committee in the House. No tax bill can pass Congress without originating under our Constitution in the House, and that's in the Ways and Means Committee meeting. So you have to have those people involved in what is their capacity to have tax reform done this year. And that requires a lot of peripheral vision, discussions beyond the Oval Office to the people that have to actually start it. The president can't start a tax cut effort. It must begin in the House of Representatives, and that's what the Constitution says.
You know, it seems like everything is politicized these days, whether it's friendships, whether it's your Facebook feed, whether it's watching an award show, whether it's watching a sporting event, for heaven's sake. And now we've got big tech companies and a couple of industrial companies, Google, Apple, and now Ford, taking political sides on the president's immigration executive order. You ever seen anything like this before?
Well, you certainly do see it occasionally, but I think this is unprecedented. The executive order was done without the benefit of a discussion from people who understood potential ramifications. And I think that's what's scary to industry. It's also terribly unsettling to people who have played by the rules on green cards and immigration and whatever. So there was an unintended consequence, at least I hope it was an unintended consequence to what the president did on Friday. I think his overall mission was a good mission. He wanted to tighten up the way people come into the country, and that's a good thing to do. But the unintended consequences undermines the value of the objective that he had. And it is unsettling to a Ford Motor Company and to others that employ a lot of green card workers to help them do their job, who are multinational businesses that have lots of people moving in and out of this country, and we want them to have the ability to manage a global company from the United States. We don't want to say, if you're going to have a global company, you can't work in the United States.
We should tell you, though, Andy, that the green card problem has been totally fixed. They're not stopping genuine green card holders from coming in. So all good news there.
But the initial challenge of compliance created unintended consequences, and that should have been avoided.
Yes, it should. The proper communication from the top would have helped. Andy Card, we value your experience, and thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.